What's going on, everyone? Talon here, and welcome to another Marvel Future Fight video, and we're going to be showcasing Mantis in this video. So when I initially did my rank up video on Mantis, I kind of missed a few things on her because I only played a world boss game mode with her for my initial gameplay, but she's actually really strong. So her fifth skill right here that I kind of overlooked a little bit when I first was looking at the character, or gave my initial impressions of the character, was that we have the crit rate by 1 second, and I was kind of confused on that for a little bit, and then it fears the enemies for 3 seconds. I thought it was just you cast the skill and it lasts for that long, that 1 second and then 3 second, but she actually drops a kind of circle around her, and it lasts for quite a while actually. And if the enemies walk into that circle, they get feared for 3 seconds. So as long as they're in that circle, basically they're going to be feared. So that means that pretty much when you're in close combat, if you're fighting an enemy that can be feared, you're pretty much not going to take any hits. You're just going to be unloading and dealing damage right into that enemy. So this skill is actually really powerful. And then the increase to crit rate, I'm assuming is kind of the same thing as the fear. So once the skill is cast, the circle follows you around. It's not something that sits in place like Root's heal circle. So basically you should have this 20% increase to crit rate the whole time the circle is up, is what I'm assuming from this text based on how the fear effect works. So that is pretty powerful. So I really like this skill. It's pretty much an amazing skill for Shadowland, and really good for PvP as well, because if you fight a PvP team that does not have a Wasp or some leadership that does debuffing, then they're going to be feared the whole time. So basically they're not going to be able to attack you back for as long as you have this fifth skill active. So that's pretty amazing. And then besides that, her skills, just having so many iframes, also makes her a really powerful character in terms of survivability, because her fourth skill is pretty much just a really long iframe, and then we have her second skill where she jumps into the air and does some shots with her fingers, which is also a full iframe. And then we have these other skills right here. The first and when she casts the fifth skill are kind of like very short, like initial iframes when she first casts the skill, so it can be useful in certain situations, but it's definitely not a full iframe or a very long iframe. It's a super short one. And then she also has a increase to her dodge rate, which will also help her survivability as well. So she has a lot of tools going on for her. So let's just show you the overall build that I have my Mantis at, and then we'll get into a little bit of gameplay here. So that was the skills. For my isolate set, I just have I am also Groot, kind of to stack on to her survivability. When I first rolled this, I did not really know about her fifth skill being so powerful, so I might actually just change this to a attack-based isolate set, because she does have such good survivability with that fear mechanic that I could get the extra DPS instead, because she's definitely a very low DPS character, but her survivability just makes up for that. So that's what I have right now, is I am also Groot, so we have an additional heal, and then my obelisk here is a recovery rate with a damage proc, because I did know she had low damage when I first unlocked her, so I did want that damage proc. And then a recovery rate was just to synchronize with her passive that gives her that 5% heal over 3 seconds, so 15% recovery overall during that time, which is a really nice passive as well, because it is when she's below 90% health, so this is pretty much always going to be activated, and it's only on a 7-second cooldown, so it's going to be really hard to kill her even if you could hit her, just because she'll be healing quite often. Her gear, nothing special here. We just have energy attack or all attack, we have all defense, we have some HP, and then just some skill cooldown. And then for her details, you can see she's really low on her stats here, but I haven't really worked on her too much yet. So her ignore defense is only at 22%, her skill cooldown is only at 26%, so all really low. So definitely need to get those up, but for right now, this is what she's looking like. So now we're going to go ahead and get into some gameplay here with Mantis. Alright, so here we have Infinity Thanos. I did give her some pretty strong strikers just because her damage is quite low, so I thought she would need the help in the DPS department. But it turns out that she didn't really need the additional help. She was able to clear it a little faster than I thought, so that was quite nice. This was more to showcase her survivability and just to see if she could beat Infinity Thanos. We have Iron Man as leader just because my Mantis does not have anywhere close to max skill cooldown, so I used that to be able to get her to max skill cooldown so I could kind of just see her rotation of skills. If I had a damage leadership, I probably wouldn't have used the strikers that I did, but I used them, like I said, for the extra DPS. And I know this video is going to be a little long, so if you wanted to skip ahead to see some of the other gameplay of Mantis, the order that the clips will be in is we're going to finish out Infinity Thanos here, and then we're going to have a Black Dwarf clear, and then after that we're going to have a few floors of Shadowland where I tried her out with different rumbles, from the New Avengers Rumble to the Hulk Rumble, and then also a regular boss mode with Rocket Raccoon, and then finally the Floor 21 boss mode with Venom to round it out. And then after that we have a few timeline battles just to showcase how powerful her 5th skill is in PvP scenarios, because it can basically keep the enemy feared for the entire battle, which is quite amazing. I did avoid, of course, teams with tier 2 Wasp and debuff leaderships just to take full advantage of her 5th skill. So that's going to be enough of my rambling. I hope you enjoy the showcase of Mantis, and yeah, that's going to wrap up what I have to say here, so enjoy the footage.
It could take a million days, but I see
side, I hope you enjoyed that showcase of Mantis. As you can see, Mantis is quite a powerful character. She may not have the best DPS, but she definitely has some of the highest survivability in the game, and her skill set is quite amazing because of the iframes and her 5th skill. So overall, Mantis, a extremely powerful character. I would rate her as one of the best characters in the game now, just for utility and versatility on what she can accomplish. She may not, like I say, have the DPS, but she's still just an amazing character and well worth the investment if you're thinking on in ranking her up, or which character of the new 3 you wanted to work on first. Mantis is definitely a very strong character, and I would recommend investing in her. So that's going to be it for this video. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed the gameplay of Mantis here, and I hope to see you in the next one.